Hi, I'm Erica Nugent and I wanted to tell you about something that's really exciting. When I first heard about this, it just was liberating really, because all of a sudden I found out who I was, and I wasn't weird and unusual, but I was just who I was meant to be. And it's motivational gifts. Now there's 7 different types of people. And sometimes we put a lot of this down to different genders, different cultures, different races, and all those things do play a part in who we are and make us the special, unique people we are. But a big part of who we are is what motivates us. And a motivational gift doesn't mean there's things you can't do, but it's about personality largely. And it's about the things that motivate you to do what you do. Say there was a youth group or a family, and they decided to wash Dad's car. And if there were 7 different people in the family or in the youth group, and they were all different motivations, they would do it for different reasons. The contributor is one person, and he would do it because it needs to be done, and he's drawn to meet needs. If he's a facilitator, he would organise everyone else to do the work because they just love to organise. If he was a teacher, he'd be saying, well, that's got so dirty because he drove up that dirty road and he was just too close to the edge and it splattered all over it. If he was a prophet inside, he'd say, well, he's been driving in the dirt again. Maybe he went to visit somebody who was sick or something and he just had to go there. But I'm going to help wash it just because it's the right thing to do. A mercy person would say, oh, he'd be so embarrassed driving in a dirty car like that, I'm going to help him clean it. A server would say, well, I just want to clean it to show him that I love him. And an exhorter would say, oh, come on, let's have some fun. And they'd be squirting each other and throwing soap at each other and having a lot of fun, making a party out of it. But then they would walk off, not put anything away after themselves. So that's your 7 different types of people. And it's really exciting if I go through them and you all of a sudden will find out who you are. And like I've taught this class many, many times, and when people discover who they are, the light goes on and they just start to laugh, because they didn't know anyone else was just exactly like them in so many ways. So it's really fun to teach this, because people in a class will just start to laugh when you start to do their gifting. You don't have to guess which gifting they have because it's obvious from their reaction. So over the next couple of days, I'm just going to go through those. And if you're interested, I think it's really, really helpful to follow up on it and just see who you are and what makes you special and unique. And the way you're brought up, your teachers, your parents, all those things make you who you are. But there's these ones that actually motivate you to do what you do. And it comes out in your personality. Like a really quiet person will probably be a mercy person. A really outgoing, bubbly person will probably be an exhorter. Someone, there's that old saying, if you want something done, ask a busy person. The busy person will be the server. If you want to know what's ahead, what's going on, what's the heart motive of different people, the prophet inside. If they're a Christian, they'll be a prophet. If they're not a Christian, they might be a clairvoyant or something like that. Then there's the teacher who's really good at quiz shows because they know all the facts and figures and they'll tell you all about everything. So they've got a fantastic memory. And then there's the ones, the facilitators, that always seem to rise to the top of the bunch. There's not an awful lot of facilitators because we don't need a whole lot of chiefs and no Indians. So there's not a lot of them around, but you'll notice them more because they're the CEOs, they're the ones who are in charge and run everything. And then there's the contributor who's just drawn to needs. These are lovely people. They're like what you'd call ordinary people. They're good at everything. They can speak. They can work. And if you've got needs, they're your best friend. The only thing is, once your needs met, they'll go off to someone else who does have a need. They're like policemen, and they like everything done properly and right. They're very justice oriented. So they make good judges and things like that. Okay, well, we're going to go on and do Exhorter first because that's the most obvious one and most easiest to recognise. So these are the outgoing people, always the centre of love to be the centre of attention, have great personalities, what we call sometimes charismatic personalities. Always a lot of fun. People love to be around them. They make great actors, just want to be up the front all the time, and they don't care if they look silly or sensible so long as they've got your attention. They love your eye contact, and a good way to tell if someone's an exhorter or not is just to look away when they're telling you something, and they'll stop talking because they need that eye contact. So that's a good little easy test. And but they just love to be the centre of attention. They're not so good with fine details. They don't like fine handiwork or anything like that. They like wide open spaces, run and all those things. There's one thing about these giftings, they're really easy to notice and tell what a child is, because before they've been, brought up and they're just natural, their natural gifting will show even more so than as they grow and learn how to refine their gifting. It depends a lot on who their parents are, because if a parent has the same motivational gift as they do, they're more likely to encourage it. If they have a different gift, they're more likely to squash it a bit. So if you find a parent with an exhorted child and they're both the same, they'll both be over the top and encourage each other all the time. So they'll be really out there probably. But they're always fun, very messy, but they like the wide open spaces and clean benches so long as someone else is cleaning up after them. And they're just a lot of fun, a party waiting to happen. Okay, well, number 2, we'll go on to the facilitator and maybe talk a little bit more about the exhorter as well. So hope to see you in the next video. Bye for now.